125 sardos de esos que defienden hoy el latifundio del rico, llamándolo institución.
Chapter 1. The Guerrilla in Chihuahua. The popular guerrilla group. The guerrilla movement in Mexico began in the early 60s in the state of Chihuahua. A group of young people between 20 and 30 years old came to the conclusion that the armed conflict would be the only way to bring social justice to the country. In this context of popular discontent, Chihuahua society demonstrated against the PRA candidate for the presidency, Gustavo Díaz Ordaz. The discontent was focused on the large landowners who monopolized farmland and the repression of peasant, worker, and student leaders in the state of Chihuahua. Governor Praxedes Giner Duran exercised an authoritarian government to benefit the national bourgeois class. In October 1963, the first meeting of the Sierra, Heraclio Bernal, took place with the participation of the General Union of Workers and Peasants of Mexico, the Popular Socialist Party, and peasant teachers. From this moment on, a process of political radicalization began in this organization. Subsequently, at the end of the 1963 and beginning of the 1964, they carried out various actions, such as political assassination, occupation of fields, and political kidnappings to finance the guerrilla movement. At the beginning of the 1965, the second meeting of the Sierra Heraclio Bernal took place, but in this one, only peasant teachers, peasants, and students participated. In this meeting, the popular guerrilla group was formed, and the document Resolutions was written in which the political and economic situation of the country was analyzed, proposing the armed conflict for the conformation of a socialist state in Mexico. In May 1965, the structure of the GPG was formed with Professor Arturo Gamis and Dr. Pablo Gomez at the head of the political leadership of the movement and Salomón Gaitán in the military leadership. In June 1965, they traveled to Mexico City to receive military training from retired Captain Lorenzo Cárdenas Barajas. During this process, they planned to take over the Madera military base in Chihuahua. The assault took place on September 23, 1965, in order to provide arms, ammunition, and food. In the original plan, the number of members was 31 members divided into 3 groups. Only Arturo Gamis' group, which had 13 members, arrived at the assault on the Madera military base. The other 2 groups had problems getting to the meeting. The GPG was defeated and Arturo Gamis, Pablo Gómez, Arturo Escobel, Miguel Quiñones, Oscar Sandoval, Rafael Martínez Valdivia, and Emilio Gamis were assassinated in the military camp. However, this was only the beginning of the guerrilla movement in Mexico because, during the 60s and 70s, other guerrillas would emerge in different places and with many political tendencies. Likewise, the repression exercised by the state would be cruel and direct at the poorest sectors of the Mexican society. In the next chapter, we will talk about other important guerrilla movements that were formed in the second half of the 20th century. If you want to have an overview of the guerrilla movement in Mexico, click on the link that we will leave in the description, where we talk in more detail about this topic of vital importance to understand a forgotten fragment of the history of Mexico. If you are keen, like and subscribe, and share it with someone who is interested in the subject. Our project is made up of students, and to maintain this work, we need your help for editing, microphones, headphones, and translation of the scripts. If you want to support us, you can do so by making a donation through YouTube. Thank you. YouTube. Thank you.
Ametrallaron rabiosos la guerrilla popular y desgajaron con balas una esperanza rural. El 23 de septiembre